Hello Aries, this is your 2018 tarot reading for the entire year. Give me a few more seconds. This will be a 21 card spread. So it's going to be pretty extensive. Okay. The first card is a Five of Wands. I have an Eight of Wands, Eight of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, Seven of Swords. Sevens and eights are very prominent here. I have the Tower. And then Three of Cups. I have Ace of Pentacles. I have a Nine of Cups. Four of Swords. Ace of Wands. Four of Pentacles. Queen of Wands. Five of Cups. Very interesting so far. Last row, the High Priestess. I have a Wheel of the Year. I have a Knight of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles. King of Swords. The Sun. Knight of Wands. Okay, so very interesting. Now there are so many dimensions to this reading. This is the Grand Romany spread here. So I want to make sure you understand how I will be doing this reading. Normally this first row would be past, and then this would be present, and this would be future. These cards are all just coming together beginning to end, from the beginning of your year to the end of your year. Also, the columns here all address a specific inquiry or aspect of your life. This first row addresses issues in your home. This is a column. This first column addresses issues in your home. This next column addresses issues directly related to you. This third column addresses friends and family, or lovers, or partners. This fourth column, it answers your questions. What will happen? Will you get what you want? This is usually called the wish column. Will your wish be granted? I have the fifth column, and this is about things that might happen that you're not expecting. Okay? These are things you're expecting but might not happen. And then this last column, the seventh column, these are things that are definitely going to occur. I also will look at the interchange of the elements here. as you know, the elements as well as your major arcana are all very important here. I will say that for 21 cards, it's pretty interesting that you only have one major arcana here in this first row. You have none here in this second row. But then here in your last row, you have 1, 2, 3 major arcana cards here. But overall, there's still only 4 major arcana cards. That doesn't mean that they still don't anchor what's going on in your life. They're still significant. You do go from the Tower, which is a catastrophe, a disaster. Picking up the pieces. And then nothing going on in the middle of the year, and then you get here, all of a sudden we have the energy of the High Priestess, the card of mysteries. Sometimes it can mean your gut feeling, following your gut. Also, it can mean, it can sort of mean that someone is shut off. They're keeping their emotions away from you, because the High Priestess is not just about psychic ability. It's about someone who has their emotions under control and is able to see the bigger picture. She has control over her subconscious, and she doesn't let her subconscious get out of control. Okay? So yes, this is very important. And then we have a change of luck with this Wheel of the Year. Usually the Wheel of the Year is also considered the Wheel of Fortune, and it means a change of luck. So then by the time we get to the end of the spread, you have the Sun, which is a promise of good things coming, which is pretty interesting because Knight of Wands follows soon after. And that's always a good sign because you're a fire sign, Aries. And, you know, ending on a Knight of Wands, even though the Knight of Wands is associated with Sagittarius, this is still the energy of fire. This is still about change. This is still about taking action. So, you know, heading towards the end of the year, you're definitely ending on a good note. So as I look at the beginning of the year, lots of interesting things. You're starting off with a bang with the Wands. 5 of Swords. 5 of Wands, I mean, which is the card of conflict and change and petty arguments. This 8 of Wands. Sometimes this can mean things happening quickly, big surprises. It can also mean communication over a long distance. Okay, so making sense of why you're starting off with conflicts and petty issues. And then you get this 8 of Swords where maybe there's a resolution that you have to squash this petty conflict that's happening here. Sometimes it can mean long distance travel. I feel like with this 5 of Wands happening and then the 8 of Wands, that there are going to be some, and pardon the pun, fires that you have to put out here. That there are some issues, relationship or home or career, that you're going to start off like gangbusters. But look at what happens here with this 8 of Swords, confusion. This 8 of Wands becomes 8 of Swords, feeling powerless and helpless. And it feels like the universe is slowing your roll here. Because then you come here with your 7 of Pentacles. Now, the 7 of Pentacles, note he still has a wand. But the Pentacles are very slow. Wands are very quick. Energy, you want things to happen now, you want to move forward, but all you can do is just stand by. Okay, so I get a little bit of a hiccup here at the beginning of the year. And then this 7, these transformation of numbers, 8s, which are the change of growth, which are about change and growth. But then we have a 7 of Pentacles, having to revise and revisit. So now that 7 of Pentacles becomes a 7 of Swords. A card of secrets, looking into things. Maybe, I think there's someone you don't quite trust in your life for some of you Aries people, especially for the relationship issues. There's someone that you might not be able to trust fully, and I get the feeling that there's a finding out of some things here happening in the first part of the year, maybe the first 3 months. Sometimes the 7 of Swords is about you being secretive about what you're doing, looking out for yourself. And that could very well be the case. But I kind of get the feeling that with all of this conflict and this big issue that you're running around and then you're confused, you're like, well, what happened? I thought things were going great. I feel like for some of you, especially if you've been waiting for a job, like I said, this 7 of Pentacles really slows things down for you, and it's a matter of waiting and once again revisiting and going back to the drawing board. And that's when we come to this 7 of Swords. This is a very strategic card. This is a card of figuring things out. So it's not always about another person cheating. The 7 of Swords is usually, it can also be a card of where you keep things to yourself and you have a game plan, but you don't tell everyone. Okay? So then we come to this Tower. And this kind of puts the 7 of Swords in a new context because, as you know, the Tower is about revision. The Tower is about things being moved out of your way, and usually for the good. You know, sometimes if someone's ego gets out of control, there needs to be, you need to be pulled back, you need to be humbled. This could apply to you. I think that with this 7 of Swords, there's going to be a big, issue coming up that you didn't anticipate. But this Tower comes along and tears everything down. And then suddenly we have this 3 of Cups here. This is the card of friendship, joy, and happiness. Sometimes it's about these little celebrations, okay? It can be a card about an engagement, deep affection. I get the feeling that, well, why would this 3 of Cups follow this big disappointment? You trying to handle a problem, an issue that someone has with you. But I kind of feel like maybe there were some relationship issues, friendship issues, family issues. And this 3 of Cups comes here to sort of settle all of the emotional, make up, break up. That's what I'm thinking. Even if it's a dispute with your family, especially if there are legal issues. I get the feeling that the Tower is happening at this point in the spread, not just to make you start over, but to get rid of a lot of bad blood between you and someone else. And then, so I'm noticing that after the Tower, you're able to have the energy of water, this, let's get along, let's resolve this, make peace. Especially since you began this with a 5 of Wands, which is the card of conflict. So as we move here to the next row, moving right along, you have 2 aces. 2 aces. You have an Ace of Pentacles, and then an Ace of Wands. And whenever aces get together, big, big, big opportunities here. It's not just about starting over, because after the number 10 you go back to 1, but anytime you get an ace, it's also the potential for new opportunities and success. Okay, sometimes this is also about a turn of luck here. especially with that Ace of Pentacles. New job opportunities for some of you, money, you know, a chance for a windfall of money, okay? And that's always a good thing. And then this Ace of Wands, which is right smack dab in the middle of the spread, it's between rows 1 and 3, and it's also the 4th column in the middle. This Ace of Wands definitely connects with you because, once again, it's about you being optimistic and moving forward, and new directions in your life that you intend to make progress in. And I get the feeling also from this first row, that a lot of you Aries people have been struggling with just getting things started. You've fallen into a rut, bad habits that are annoying. For those of you who are attached, habits that might be annoying your partner, habits that you're getting frustrated with, and you're thinking, I need to do something new. So that's another reason why I'm seeing this Tower here. But this 4 of Pentacles getting stuck, and then you get another Queen of Wands. So more wands here that I feel are kind of strategic here. And then a 5 of Cups. So going through this second row, new opportunities with the aces. 9 of Cups, contentment. Someone is very happy that you're coming through for them. I don't necessarily see it as an attachment necessarily about you, but I think it's about you being able to make someone else happy, being considered a success. I get a break here with a 4 of Swords here. I get a pulling away, taking a break, but then we get this Ace of Wands, which I've already explained, this desire for success. And then that 4 of Pentacles, slowing down, staying put for a little bit. Maybe I think you're sort of thinking things over with these new opportunities that are just hitting you. There is a need to sort of stay still for a minute. Sometimes this can mean someone's stubborn. And it's not unlikely that this Ace of Pentacles and this Ace of Wands can represent the energies of 2 people in your life. You want to move forward. You have this new direction and vision. But someone with the Ace of Pentacles could definitely have different ideas. So when I look at how the Pentacles are coming together, and there are no Pentacles in this first row, an Ace of Pentacles and then the 4 of Pentacles here, new opportunities, you need to think them over carefully. Don't make any big brash decisions. Okay? But we do have a Queen of Wands here. And the Queen of Wands is not about slowing down. The Queen of Wands is about getting what she wants when she wants it. Being led by our feelings, the way we think, the internal energy. Kings represent the outward display. But those of you who do have that fire energy, Aries, you've always been confident. You've always been optimistic and happy. You've always been the ones to ask, why not? Okay? And so I find it interesting here we have another cup, and this is coming right after the 3 of Cups. A bit of a loss here. Someone was happy, but now they're sad. It seems as if these new directions and you trying to get what you want, for some of you, it might come at the cost of certain friendships or relationships. This can also represent this water energy that I'm seeing here. Someone who does have regrets, someone who does feel sorry. This could mean an apology for some of you later on in the year. And the fact that this 5 of Cups, once again, it comes after all of this Swords and Wands and Pentacles. Just feeling this out, I feel like some of you Aries people do have to balance what it is that you want, but yet being slowed down by the material life and the people who depend on you and the people who care about you, or you managing your relationships. You're ready to go. You're ready to achieve. But it feels as if the emotional attachments and the practical attachments to people in your life tend to drag you down and slow you down. So that could definitely be a reason for these pentacles here. But it's interesting how these cups show up, because if I'm not mistaken, you only have 3 cups in the entire spread. As far as this friendship and affection and, love and happiness. And then we get some sadness, some disappointment here. Someone, I feel, might be emotionally even manipulating you. You might feel guilt with someone, that maybe you feel you want to leave someone behind, but this person plays a guilt trip with the 5 of Cups. So this emotional energy, maybe it's relationships and friendships and family and love, between all of those relationships. I feel like some of you are struggling a little bit throughout this year with um, people's expectations of you, someone's expectations of you, and yet you're what it is that you want. Okay? So as we head into this last row, yes, more major arcana. Change of luck, following your gut instincts, moving ahead here. So we have some knights and we have some kings and we have some major arcana, which together, once again, those bold changes that you're striving for in the first part of the year, all of a sudden those bold changes you've been waiting for are starting to come through here. So there's a little bit of, I feel like some coincidences, especially near August and September, are going to be happening, but they're not going to be coincidences. I feel like they're going to happen for the right reason as we close in at the end of the year. This High Priestess and the Wheel of the Year, I get the feeling that some of you are going to take a risk or a bet on a particular issue, and you're going to come out on top. This Knight of Pentacles, once again, the Knight of Pentacles is then turning into a Queen of Pentacles. Knights bring change and opportunity. They bring an offer from someone, maybe a new job, maybe some money, maybe a negotiation. And then this Queen of Pentacles is supportive. The Queen of Pentacles accepts the offer. Keep in mind, it feels like you're going to make a very successful decision with money heading into, September, October. You have a King of Swords here. This could be an authority figure, a judge, in an important decision. Don't cross out the fact that for some of you there could be some legal issues. If most of the year, especially when you look at this big slowdown here with the 2 swords here, once you get this King of Swords, it could very well mean that the confusion and the secrecy and the retreating and the slowing down, this King of Swords is going to bring a decision that you've been waiting for. It will bring an unexpected judgment. And it could be an actual legal case, but it could also represent a big decision that you've been pressed to make for quite a while. And because of that decision, that's when the sun comes. And then things start to really come together for you. So that's when this Knight of Wands here starts to make sense. Keep in mind, you have a Queen and a Knight here for Wands, and a Queen, a Knight and a Queen here for Pentacles. And then you just have this King here as far as court cards. So, yeah, I think that a lot of your energy, for some of you who are dealing with someone with Earth energy, and of course this could be someone who's a Capricorn, a Taurus, or a Virgo, but I do feel that for some of you, this Pentacles versus Wands that I'm seeing here, this slow down and then you trying to speed up, it could be a lot of negotiation between some of you Aries people. and a partner. But as I said, heading into the end of the year, the sun propels this Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is not associated with Aries. It's associated with Sagittarius. But nevertheless, there's a strong fire energy that's coming from the sun as well. Amplified. The dreams and hopes and everything that you've worked for are finally culminating in success. And I think that's a good thing. The balance that you need. This Queen of Wands is also associated with Aries. So throughout, especially with the Wands and this Queen of Wands, who's associated with Aries, I get a sense of you fighting for what you want, trying to, once again, because you're devoted and loyal to people that you care about, I see you just trying to keep balance and keep everything together here, but yet still not allowing people to drain you, not drain you of that, not drain you of your natural energy to be optimistic, especially as far as being taken advantage of, Aries, because you're so loyal. You tend to, you give it 100%, whether it's your career or your relationship. So I do think it's interesting, these knights and these queens here, the fire energy with the knight and the queen here, and then the big slowdown with the knight and queen of pentacles here. And of course those pentacles, that pentacle is showing up here, and pentacles are showing up here with the wands. So it just seems, I just keep getting this battle between pentacles and wands. And I think it just simply tells a story that you're going to get past it. You're going to make your own luck here. So looking at the individual columns here, each column is about a specific issue or inquiry or aspect of your life. And this first column is what's going on in the home. Okay, so we go from conflict with the Five of Wands, and then we go to an Ace of Pentacles, a new beginning with prosperity or happiness and your material wealth in your home. And then we go to a High Priestess where things just chill out here. We're trusting our gut, we're listening to our better selves. This second column applies directly to you. So we're looking at wanting to speed up, we're looking at happiness, contentment, other people, taking care of other people. But then we get here to the Wheel of the Year, and then we get a change in luck that you've been waiting for. This is addressing your friends, your family, your partners, your loved ones, person of interest, love interest. So confusion and then retreat. This could be someone pulling back from you. Okay, this is someone who could have been giving you mixed messages. And then this Knight of Pentacles, very slow, but yet it's still someone, in your material world, who's making an offer. For those of you who might be dating, sometimes this Knight of Pentacles can represent someone who wants to connect with you for a relationship. Okay. But it is a very slow card, and it is about someone who could be taking time to consider things or think things over before they're able to move forward. This middle row, this is the card, this is the column, not row, this is the column about whether your wish will be granted, whatever wish you have for 2018. This is the card that says, well, what will happen? And it looks like waiting, waiting, waiting. Then you have an Ace of Wands, things jumpstart for you. And then we have that Queen of Pentacles. Okay? And once again, Pentacles are slow, but for some of you, this could be actually a matter of stability, Happiness, a happy home. That's the Queen of Pentacles is also a good wife. Okay. And this could actually represent an actual partner for you. But definitely she represents that person in the home, the partner in the home who keeps everything together. This could represent a little bit more stability for a lot of you, a happy home life, especially if you've been moving, trying to find a place to live, long distance relationships, peace and stability. This fifth column, that's for the unexpected, things that you did not expect to happen. And take note of all these swords and pentacles here. Seven of Swords, secrets and things you didn't know about. And then we get a Four of Pentacles, staying put. And then this King of Swords, someone handing down a decision, a big decision. Someone's going to be making a big decision that you never thought would happen. The things that you would like to happen but may not happen, that Sun here. Okay. So we have the Sun promising happiness. After this big disaster with the Tower, we go to a Queen of Wands. You getting on top of this, the Queen of Wands, once again, the inner qualities of confidence and happiness and optimism that would encourage or bring you to the Sun. You might not get everything you want this year, but it doesn't hurt to set goals. Nevertheless, this last card, things that are that will happen. You go from a Three of Cups and a Five of Cups, maybe someone with water energy. That's a big influence in your life. But this is the card of celebration and happiness and deep affection. And then we have someone with hurt feelings here. Okay, someone who wants more from you, I think. Someone who has expectations of you that are too much. Okay. But then you have this singular Knight of Wands. You riding off into your destiny. And I kind of almost feel as if it means necessarily, it might mean necessarily that you and a person, for some of you, it might actually mean a breakup, that you have these cups and then you just break away from all this emotion and emotional entanglements. Maybe it means an emotional reset for some of you Aries people. Just not letting the emotion pull you back. Because remember what I said about that Nine of Cups when I was reading it horizontally and vertically. Someone's emotional expectations of you, someone who demands a lot of emotional nurturing and caring from you. And so I get the feeling that part of this story here that I'm seeing is you trying to saying, can I make this person happy, but I know what I want. So that's a part of what I'm seeing in this relationship. This water energy is significant. There are only 3 cards with cups. I've been looking a lot into those pentacles because they've been showing up quite a bit around your wands. And once again, pentacles are slower than fire. Pentacles are slower than wands. Earth is much slower than fire. Very solid. So it's not a bad thing to have pentacles because pentacles can be grounding and stable, and they bring prosperity. But once again, if this is the energy of someone close to you with those pentacles versus cups, lots of ups and downs here. And I'm kind of seeing the water energy as a conflict with someone for some of you. Trying to make this person happy, this person's ups and downs. And it's on the relationship tip. I feel some of you like getting very frustrated. So I see you financially and prosperously working through so many disappointments and ups and downs throughout the year. As far as relationships, you're still trying to find a big balance here. I think that for all of you different types of Aries and different types of situations. I feel like for some of you, just taking more time with relationships and just trying to find a compromise with someone who reacts a lot to what your actions and what you do. Okay, someone who might even be a little bit insecure that you've had to deal with. So, Aries, that was your yearly reading for 2018. Keep in mind, this is general. So if you're interested in getting something specific just for you for the next year, I'm more than happy to do it. So check out my description in YouTube and consider getting your own private year-end 2018 reading. Thank you so much for your support throughout the year. It's been wonderful. And I wish you love and light and Happy New Year.